Poetry is an escape.
Poetry is something beautiful and it gives people life.
Poetry is not just poetry.
Poetry is a remedy.
Poetry is Devin.
Poetry is my healing.
Poetry is expression.
Poetry is me, and I'm poetry. I want to say something really, really, really good about poetry.
Mama, I'm dating a doctor. Mama, I'm seeing a doctor. He says, dating sounds too serious, like a terminal patient or tuberculosis. Romantic, isn't he? Mama, did you hear me? I'm seeing a doctor. That means extra benefits and less musicians who play their women harder than their six strings, and maybe he'll even make me his wife. Or maybe that's too soon, but I'm seeing this guy who makes all the gorgeous women fly and sweeps them off their feet easily, but for some reason he chose me. 2 weeks. Mama, and already he's talking about my body, how I'd be a beauty on display. He talks about how many friends he knows would pay for such a prize. We passed a month. And I've already been claimed by a doctor. He ensures my confidence by paying compliments to every other woman except me. Diagnosed low self-esteem. Mama, he called me annoying. I simply want to please him. 7 months, Mama, and I'm being stitched and refixed by a doctor who's inflicted his marks on me, claiming he must mark his territory, and I guess I should be happy that he wants to beat me. Be with me, Mama, please. I'm seeing a doctor. Be happy for me. At least my health is better now, my sanity is intact, not that many of my bones are cracked, and don't call the police just because you're frightened. He could get hurt or lose his license. Mama, I'll figure this out, I promise. Grandma always warned us about dating doctors who could infect you physically just as fast as they could cure you of an emotional disease like useless uterus. I can fix it, but the side effects will be worse than the symptoms you were feeling. Ruptured cervix, can't bear babies. I can grant you fertility but make you unapproachable by men. HIV. Irrevocable virus you planted in my brain. IV. Intravenous fluids pumping venom through my veins that blur me from your insanity. IV. 4 times infinity equals 4th degree vehicular manslaughter on my anatomy. Mama, I'm being killed. Surgery. And it's probably too late for me, but Mama, did I ever tell you I dated a doctor?
I got into poetry in 8th grade because I had something real horrific that happened to me. I lost my cousin to gun violence and gambling. So that's what sparked my poetic side in the beginning.
I always had a love for poems. I started from young. I've always been interested, Dr. Seuss, roses are red, violets are blue, and it branched off from there.
Poetry, probably when I was really little, really, really, really little. I started poetry just because it was fun. And then it wasn't until later on where I tried to get females with it. Where it's like I tried to get girls, it didn't work. No, it worked one time, but other than that, yeah, that was about it. But it fell off after, from a little kid. Poetry fell off for me until 12th grade high school year when I met Miss Clarendon. And through Miss Clarendon and Nino, through them, when we first did our first poetry contest, that's when I really got back into poetry.
My life has been entirely constructed from rhymes. Near the foot of my bed holds 3 notebooks entirely stained by my heart. And over 100 pages of my personality sit right next to a Jet magazine with Kendrick Lamar's face posing beside the words, "Save hip hop." I'm a rapper. I say things like, witness a young guy's rise to his prime example of avidity and a bleeding need to be number one, 'cause see, compiling compositions have grown to be my escape. So if I pen down my emotions, then I can easily fake all the emotions that everybody else would rather see.
My creative so I want to tell this story. I used to have to drink a chocolate milkshake every time I had to write a poem. I don't know why, but the cold from the milkshake made my brain feel like I was smart or something. I don't know. But I got away from that just because I actually really believe that, and I now really all I have to do is I look for inspiration anywhere. So it could be in a conversation, it can be from a newscast, a cartoon, whatever, and just get to writing. So a goal of mine is I want poetry to be something that could be mainstream. So, you know, the same way people go into theaters and they go on tours and watch people do music, I want people to do the same thing for poetry because it's powerful. It's my 4th straight poem written on the back of a Reaper. Lately, every poem is a gunshot, or chalk dust, or a tombstone. Lately, my pen has an unhealthy stutter. I've been writing for 3 days straight, just trying to make this page look like my skin. I guess I should have been writing in red instead. Either way you look at it, gang or government, somebody is killing us in the name of blood.
I'm not really a poet, but I'm actually a rapper. My creative process is either when I feel something or basically, how can I put it? Let's say I'm like having fun, like I'll freestyle something and then like that'll be the hook, and then like from there it'll just start building up into a full song. Career taking me from state to state with a lot of money, happily, comfortably, with my bae, her.
It's not necessarily a matter of where it takes me to the future, because I've been a part of it for like 15 years now, at least, as much as what it does for me in the here and the now and in the future. And poetry will always be a place where I can experience myself in a way that I cannot in any other aspect in life. So poetry is unique. It is the most vulnerable of art forms, quite honestly. And so the ability to be able to be vulnerable and my vulnerability to be seen as beautiful is something that only poetry can provide for me. And that's what it will always give me, no matter when and where.
I could never understand how deep the pain travels through your vein, a stain that marked you for life. You said you never saw the sunlight. 50 shades of gray, you are my 50 shades of gray. I'll take your pain because of this stain. Poetry.
Poetry means everything to me. Poetry is where all of my skills come into play. It's where all of my arts can like live together harmoniously, and like it just makes me really happy. Okay. I'm blushing, sorry. Okay. The moment that my team won LTAB Florida for the first time, because it was a struggle. LTAB is this competition that started in Chicago, but they finally brought it to Florida in the year 2015. It's called Louder Than a Bomb. And it's a spoken word competition, but it wasn't about the points, it's about the poetry. It was just a family experience.
My favorite moment, I don't know if there's I want to go back. Performing at the New York Cafe in New York City. I remember this young lady walked to me and said, you know, you're dope. And the New York is like the Taj Mahal for poets, right? It's like the Mecca for poetry. And to get that recognition and respect meant the world to me. So I think those moments were really key.
All right. Welcome to poetry, where you'll experience visual words rain dance in your ears, creating explosive epiphanies onto new worlds. Welcome to poetry, where emotions could throw up gang signs, forming just enough chakra to spit fire on these stages. We, as poets, are hunters for imagination, going trial after trial to get that perfect sentence, going trial after trial to get that perfect line. Welcome to poetry, where lives are changed and lives are made new, like rebirth in January, where spring is in the fall and summer every winter. See, we, as poets, have the power to command limitation and be without limits. Here, in the world of poetry, all of your dreams and fantasies are made possible with the flick of the pen. I'll excite your mind with the rhythm instead of the rhyme. See, someone once told me that rap was retards attempting poetry. Well, if that's the case, then you can call my show.
I am poetry.
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 But I feel like this is like just too real.
No such thing.
All right.